I worked all shifts starting my business.
Look, the biggest achievement in business was Ron Johnson saying, "I do."
Damn!
He married into his business. He didn't start that from the ground up.
All right.
During last night's debate between Senator Ron Johnson and Lieutenant Governor Mandela Barnes, we were introduced to a level of savagery that was just so surgical in the art of political responses that one could only sit back and admire.
I worked all shifts starting my business.
Look, the biggest achievement in business was Ron Johnson saying, "I do." He married into his business. He didn't start that from the ground up.
All right.
He's never signed the front of a paycheck. He doesn't have a clue how to create jobs. He certainly doesn't have a clue how the economy works and how you run a business. He doesn't.
Yep. Senator Johnson is taking a whole lot of credit for his business in law.
Now, as both candidates shared their business experience, Barnes reminded voters that while Ron Johnson was boasting and bragging about signing checks and making tough business choices that really benefit the bottom line, well, that very business that he's boasting about was inherited via marriage.
Taking a whole lot of credit for his business in law.
All right, we will move on.
There was also an instance where Senator Johnson had to be sat down by the FBI and warned that he may be a Russian asset. We cannot trust Senator Johnson to protect democracy abroad because we can't even trust Senator Johnson to protect democracy here at home.
Mr. Johnson, you do have a chance.
But it wasn't just Barnes that was tearing Johnson limb from limb. It seemed that the crowd wasn't into the senator's wild attempts to use a moment of bipartisanship to attack his opponent.
All right, we are down to one final question here, and both of you have said a lot tonight about each other. Now, when we traveled around the state talking with voters, we heard repeatedly from people tired of divisive politics and attack ads. So our final question here tonight is, both of you have been successful in life. You have 30 seconds here. Mr. Barnes, you go first. What do you find admirable about your opponent?
Well, no, seriously. I do think, the senator is proven to be a family man, and I think that's admirable. That's absolutely to be respected. He speaks about his family. He's done a lot to provide for them. I absolutely respect that.
Mr. Johnson.
I mean, likewise, I appreciate the fact that Lieutenant Governor Barnes had loving parents, a school teacher, father that worked third shift, so he had good upbringing. I guess what puzzles me about that is with that upbringing, why is he turned against America? I mean, why does he find the founding of America awful? It's
somehow
it puzzles me.
We did not.
We said something admirable.
Nor his unsubstantiated claims that he was set up by the FBI.
Johnson to protect democracy here at home.
Mr. Johnson, you do have a chance on a rebuttal for that, and then we'll also.
The FBI set me up with a corrupt briefing and then leaked that to smear me. I am. No, I mean,
I'm sorry. All right.
He is referring to corruption with the FBI, which I've been trying to uncover and expose.
All right.
I guess when you look at the entirety of the debate, it does make sense that Ron Johnson took that moment to attack his opponent, because I can't say that I wouldn't be as desperate to wield any opportunity to save face after being embarrassed to this extent.
And crime prevention initiatives. Ron Johnson voted against it because he would rather play politics. And look, the biggest achievement in business was Ron Johnson saying, "I do." He married into his business. He didn't start that from the ground up.
All right. Again, we'll get to things.
MeidasTouch is unapologetically pro-democracy. And look, we know you are too. So please make sure you check out our best-selling shirt and our best-selling gear, the unapologetically pro-democracy gear. And hey, while you're at it, make sure you check out my favorite shirt and one of our most famous designs, "It wasn't rigged, you're just a loser," at store.meidastouch.com. That's store.meidastouch.com.